Disneyland Forward is starting to feel a lot more real, with major construction now visible inside DCA and the Manchester lot closing soon for the future Eastern Gateway project. Plus, park hopping just got easier, Magic Key holders are getting a new perk, and Disney is already starting its 250th celebration. Hi everyone, it's Julie from Main Street USA Studios, and let's get into this week's Disneyland news. So, Disneyland Resort may be getting ready for a major change to how guests arrive at the parks, and it starts at the parking lot. A lot of guests probably just drive by without even realizing it. The Manchester cast member parking lot is on the east side of Disneyland, across Harbor Boulevard from the parks, near Disney Way and Manchester Avenue. If you've ever driven down Harbor by the hotels across from Disneyland, this is the general area. The idea for a new parking lot here has been going on for a long time. Back in 2016, Disney had a similar plan called the Eastern Gateway Project, which would have added a huge parking structure, a security area, and a pedestrian bridge over Harbor Boulevard. But that version never happened. One of the big issues was pushback from nearby Harbor Boulevard businesses because the bridge could have changed the way guests walked in and out of the resort and potentially taken foot traffic away from them. So Disney had shifted to the west side instead, which is how we ended up with the Pixar Palace parking structure right next to Mickey and Friends. But now, under Disneyland Forward, this east side structure is back in action. But the new update this week is that the Manchester lot is expected to close starting June 28th, so we have an official date. That date came from Workers United Local 50, the union that represents many Disneyland food and beverage cast members. And they reported that that information came from Disney Labor Relations. So although Disneyland has not publicly announced it yet, this is significant. So the reason it matters that the cast member parking lot is closing because this is the area where Disney is planning to build that new east side parking structure with these 6,000 spaces. It's supposed to have rideshare, shuttles, and security screening. And super exciting, a new pedestrian bridge right over Harbor Boulevard. So no more crowded crosswalks with long wait times. So we're kind of thinking of it like how Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals work today. A huge number of guests park there, go through the tram area, and then either take the tram or walk through downtown Disney to get to the parks. On this new east side parking structure, the plan would work differently. Instead of trams or walking through downtown Disney, guests would be directed toward that big pedestrian bridge over Harbor Boulevard, the one we've seen in the concept art, and then enter the resort from the east side. So even though this sounds like a parking lot update, it could be one of the first real signs that Disneyland Forward on the east side is starting to move ahead. And America's 250th anniversary is coming up on July 4th this year, and Disney is already starting to celebrate in the parks with things like Soarin' Across America coming, patriotic entertainment, and now some new themed food items at Disneyland and at DCA. At the churro carts near Town Square and Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland, you'll find this new apple pie dip. At Refreshment Corner in Disneyland, check out this new Rocket Soda, which is non-alcoholic. Over in DCA, Willie's Churro has this new apple pie churro. The Smoked Jeffers Grill in DCA has this new red, white, and blue punch, which is also non-alcoholic. And starting July 2nd, Clarabelle's hand-scooped ice cream in DCA will have this new 250th celebration dipped Mickey bar. And at the candy locations across both parks, you'll find this s'mores marshmallow wand, a patriotic Mickey caramel apple, and a Clarabelle cow caramel apple. And a major update this week, the 11 a.m. park hopping restriction is officially gone. So that means guests with a park hopper ticket or a Magic Key pass can now move between Disneyland and DCA at any time of day, after they've first scanned into the park where they made their reservation. So yes, it is a little odd that you have to physically scan into your reserved park first if you're allowed to just turn around and walk right over to the other one. But at least this is a step in the right direction, and it does make a Disneyland day feel a lot more flexible than it has in the last few years. And Disney is offering a small transportation perk this summer for guests staying at select Good Neighbor hotels. Through September 8th, guests can use Lyft promo codes for rides between participating hotels in the Disneyland Resort area. New Lyft users can use the code 50MAGIC for 50% off 2 rides, and existing Lyft users can use XL10 for 10% off 1 XL ride. And so if you are staying off property this summer at a Good Neighbor hotel, it's worth checking whether your hotel is included. This could be a nice little discount for getting to and from the parks. With Toy Story 5 premiering in theaters this week on Friday, June 19th, the Disneyland Resort is already getting into the excitement. We saw new Toy Story 5 merch at many stores throughout the park. Check out this new display featuring the Toy Story 5 logo as well as some of the new characters from the film. We found lots of characters like Smarty Pants, a new character who is voiced by Conan O'Brien, and Blaze, along with some familiar favorites like, of course, Woody, and Buzz, Jessie, Forky, and Bonnie's toys. And Magic Key holders now have a little extra incentive to renew. We are super excited about this one. Disneyland is offering a dining card worth up to $100 when you renew a Magic Key Pass, with the amount depending on which pass you have. The Inspire Key renewals will get the $100, Believe Key for $75, Explore Key $50, and Imagine Key $25. It is incredibly rare for Disney to offer dining benefits to Magic Key holders, especially straight cash benefits like this one, so we're super excited to see this. The offer runs through May 26, 2027, and the dining card is emailed after you complete your renewal. It can be used at participating Disneyland Resort dining locations. It did note that you cannot use it at downtown Disney locations. Enclosure and construction updates starting in Disneyland. The Main Street facades are uncovered. We walked down Main Street the other day and saw that all of the facades seem to be removed, and it's looking great. Penny Arcade especially seemed vibrant. Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters reopened without much notice after being closed for refurbishment. Pirates of the Caribbean is still closed, but there is still no reopening date listed, although Blue Bayou is open. And new this week, Frontierland Shootin' Exposition and King Arthur Carousel are both scheduled to close on July 6th. King Arthur Carousel currently reopening July 17th. No reopening date yet for Frontierland. And then the Matterhorn is going to close on July 20th, reopening July 24th, so brief closure there. Over in DCA, Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind still has no reopening date and has been closed for quite some time, starting in January. Zilly Symphony Swings also remains closed with no reopening date. And a quick note that we will be at Disneyland Paris in July, and we'll be reporting back with videos from there. Some of our videos during that time will be different than our typical Newsweek videos.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more.